G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of Wineback Wednesday, and today I'm heading down to Tasmania to the Huon Valley, the Huonville Vineyard of Kate Hill Wines. It's a 2020 Shiraz, and obviously southern Tasmania, or Tasmania completely, and Shiraz are not often spoken about in the same sentence, but over the last few years there has been a few vineyards pop up here and there, and a good friend of mine had bought this back. He was over in Tassie last week and brought this back and thought it'd be a bit of a curious wine to try, and I will be very interesting. So obviously Huon Valley is down near Hobart, so very far south. Probably they actually advertise it. I did read a few notes that it's probably the coolest Shiraz vineyard in Australia, and I suspect it's probably one of the most southern Shiraz vineyards in Australia too. It was picked on the 8th of May. This is the 2020 vintage, so that was the first release of this this variety. So picked on the 8th of May, so we're getting pretty late in the season, and whereas say in Barossa Valley and McLaren Vale, where I typically take my Shiraz from, we start sort of around early to mid-March. This year is a bit cooler. We probably start later in March, but by 8th of May we're pretty well done and dusted. Maybe the Montepulciano might be still in the fermenters, but overall we're pretty well done and dusted. And down there, I read as well that they're 2 tonnes per hectare. It's hand-picked, but 2 tonnes per hectare is pretty low. I mean, well, you've got 2.5 acres roughly per hectare, so you're under a tonne to the acre. So that is very, very low yielding, and hopefully they can, maybe as the vineyards get a bit older, they can a bit more substantial canopies and maybe can hold a little bit more crop. Because that's is very, very low. But without further ado, let's give it a go. I mean, beautiful label there. I'd be interested to try it. It obviously looks like a bit of an abstract snake or something, but or a patchwork of something. But Kate Hill Shiraz 2020. Let's give it a go. It's a sort of crimson magenta sort of colour, but it's quite light in colour. But super spicy, very peppery, very black pepper. It reminds me of a couple of New Zealand Shiraz from the Giblet Gravels over there. So that really, 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 really intense black cracked pepper smell. Lovely lifted red fruits as well. But really pretty. There's no unripe characters or anything like that, and I noticed they don't use any stalks there. I think being so cool down there, the stalks probably would be quite aggressive, and the tannin profile and that sort of astringency you'd get out of those stalks if you used them would be just too much for the wine. So very pretty, lovely peppery note. And that's nice sort of pretty red fruits, and that pepperiness flows on as well. Really good balance. There's some nice acidity there, but not tartar in any way. Really quite long and really quite rounded, and it is fine and soft, but nice pretty red fruits, nice pepperiness and tannins, and yeah, it's a really pleasant drink. Lovely. I would not that I'm sound surprised, but obviously it's very adventurous for them to be putting a bit of Shiraz in that region, but as climate change is coming along, that probably suggests that maybe in the years to come that Shiraz will do quite well down there. But we'll obviously have this sort of pretty cool climate character to it, but it will ripen up well enough, and maybe, as I said before, the yields over time as the vines get older and more substantial, they can have a bit more yield on there as well to make it a little bit more economically viable. But overall, that was fantastic and really great. My mate brought that back, and 2020 Kate Hill Shiraz from the Huon Valley down near Hobart in Tasmania, Australia. Thanks for listening. Speak to you soon. Cheers.